The serve is out. Point Pacers.
Halfway through the first set, Pacers leading Middle Georgia 15-12. Marcus Johnson here. Thank you for joining us on this Halloween evening for some Peach Belt Conference volleyball between the Pacers and the Knights of Middle Georgia State University. Pacers were down in a bit of a hole early in the first set. They fought their way back into the lead now at 15-13. Taylor Wilson will serve it up for the Knights. Wilson's serve is into Bailey Corrigan. Sydney Hogan goes to play it. Ellie Bishop on the attack, and that one is blocked at the net. Grayson Lawlier and Ellie Johnson will get credit for the block for the Knights, as Middle Georgia's back within one. Serve into Lexi Rogers. Hogan sets it up for Avery Pearson, and Avery Pearson finds a way through the block for a kill. Chloe Duzenak back out onto the floor for the Pacers, as is Madison Fox. Madison Fox at the line to serve. Serve received cleanly. And the play will get blown dead after the set. Looks like it's going to be net violation on Addison Marisco. The point goes to the Pacers. Fox serve. Play by Rodriguez. The set for McCall Wolf is in for a kill as it goes and splits the defense into the back corner. Johnson with the serve. Set up from Fox. Attack looking for the corner. That one's just going to miss the mark. Serve to Kira Bostic. Fox with the setup for Duzenak. That goes off the block, and Johnson plays it. A bump set here for Wolf. Wolf runs into the defense. Back to the Pacers side. They'll work it around. Fox sets for Rogers. Tipped over the block. Dug up very nicely. An attack here from Lawlier is downed on the Pacers side. And Middle Georgia's tied it up again at 17. The serve to Rogers. A little trouble with it. Fox comes over to play it, and Rogers will push it on over. Set here from Johnson. The attack from Ferguson is eventually going to find its way over. Set for McCall Wolf, and Wolf beats out the block for a kill. And now Middle Georgia back out in front at 18-17. Rogers will receive the serve. Fox goes over to play it. Rogers with an attack deep in her own end. It's going to go out through the back end. And the point goes to the Knights. Timeout going to be taken from the Pacer bench as Middle Georgia's back out in front by 2. They lead it late in the first set. Well, timeout comes to a close. We'll get back to the action. Middle Georgia leading the Pacers 19-17. Ellie Johnson continuing at the line. Serve to Rogers. Fox will set. Attack from Duzenak, and Chloe Duzenak knocks it off a defender for the kill. That'll send Bailey Corrigan to the line to serve now. And the serve goes into the net. Went off the heel of the hand wrong. And the service error gives the ball right back to the Knights. And Janelle Baldwin will come off the bench to serve. The serve goes to Corrigan. Fox will set for Rogers. Rogers, nice hard attack, will be dug up by Paige Collier. Attack from Rodriguez is worked around by the Pacers. Set from Bostic, attack from Rogers. Again, Collier right there for it. Set up over for Paisley Ferguson. Pacers trying to get it on over, they can't. At least onto the right part of the floor as Ferguson picks up the point for the Knights. Baldwin serve into Pearson. Rogers swings through the block and gets it down for the point. Kira Bostic with serve. A little tough handle on it. Attack on the far side from Rodriguez, worked right back into the Knights' end. Rodriguez gives it another swing. This one will come up short, and the Pacers will take the point. Serve into Rodriguez again. Short set, swing gets on over. Pacers work it around. Fox will set for Summer. Anna Summer with a bullet into the back corner for a kill. All tied at 21, and that'll draw a timeout from the Knights bench. Late in the first set, both teams fighting to stay out in front. We'll be back in a moment. At 21 all, Bostic will remain at the line for the Pacers after the timeout. Serve on its way. Received by Rodriguez. The bump set from Collier back to Rodriguez. Bostic will get it started for the Pacers. Fox for Summer, and Anna Summer fires it down for the kill. Pacers out in front now, 22-21. First point out of the break. The serve into Collier this time. Set up from Johnson. The attack is going to fall short right into the net. Just a bad swing from Ferguson. And the point goes to USCA. Rodriguez will play the serve. Will set up the middle for Lawler, and that one will find its way through the defense for a kill. Grayson Lawler will take the point. Middle Georgia back on serve with Lawler at the line. Serve into Corrigan. It'll be set from Fox for Summer, and Anna Summer right down on the line for a kill. It's set point USCA at 24-22 as Sydney Hogan comes back onto the floor to serve. Hogan gets the go-ahead, serves on its way. It'll be played by Balbin. Set up for Mia Matheny, and Matheny will get it through the defense for a kill. Aubrey Beard back at the service line. Set point number 2 for the Pacers, 24-23. Serve into Rogers. Hogan sets for Anna Summer, and Anna Summer puts an end to the set with a kill. 25-23, the Pacers take set number 1. As the teams switch sides, we'll take a break and be back with the second set in just a few minutes. Taking a look at the stats here after one set of volleyball. Pacers as a team hit 220 in that first set, and it was Anna Summer leading the way in pretty much every offensive category. 7 kills on 11 swings for a .636 hitting percentage. It was all the middles for the Pacers, though. Avery Pearson, a solid first set as well. 3 kills, 1 error on 4 swings, and even 500. Allie Bishop, 3 kills on 7 swings, but 3 errors as well, to round out the leaders for the Pacers on offense. Over on the Middle Georgia side of things, Caitlin Wolf and Grayson Lawlier leading the pack with 3 kills apiece each. Lawlier, 3 kills on 3 swings for a perfect 1,000 hitting percentage. In the assist category, Madison Fox leads the Pacers with 8, followed by Sydney Hogan with 7. And on the Middle Georgia side, it's Ellison Johnson with 7 assists. The Pacers not taking a whole lot of time for a team meeting as we get ready for the second set to get underway. The Pacers will get the ball to serve to start us off here in set number 2. It'll be Sydney Hogan to get us underway. Hogan sends it up and on its way. Knights work it around. Attack comes through the block. Hogan gets the dig. Up for Allie Bishop, off the blockers and out. Allie Bishop picks up the kill to open up the scoring. Hogan serve will be played by Collier, and it's not going to be played back in. It's a service ace for Hogan and another point for the Pacers. Hard serve. It'll be touched by Wolf. The setup for Matheny is going to run into the block and down. Anna Summer picking up the stuff. And it's a quick 3-0 start for the Pacers here in the second set. Hogan serve again into Collier. Set on up by Beard. The attack gets through. Hogan gets a hand on it. Bishop with the bump set. Attack from Corrigan. That one will be dug up nicely by Beard. Another bump set far side for Rodriguez. Pacers work it around. Garabostic sets for Rogers. Pushed on over. Pinballed and downed. Lexi Rogers gets the kill. Pacers get the point. Hogan serve. Collier plays it nicely. Set on up from Beard. The attack through the block. It'll be dug by Corrigan in the back row. Quick set for Anna Summer off a defender and into the line judge. It's a kill for Anna Summer and another point for the Pacers, and we have a timeout on the floor. It's all USCA here in the second set. 5-0 your score as we head into the break. Well, back from the break. Pacers up 5-0 on Middle Georgia State. Here in the second set, Hogan continuing at the service line. Collier plays the serve. Short set through the block, and they're going to blow it dead. Net violation appears to be the call. They're going to get that Anna Summer for that. The point goes to Middle Georgia State out of the timeout on the net violation. And Ellis Rodriguez on serve. Rogers receives. Set for Bishop. And Allie Bishop carving up the defense like a pumpkin for the kill. It'll be Lexi Rogers' turn to serve. Short floater, played by Matheny. The attack worked back to Rogers. Hogan, short set for Summer, goes for the tip, and it finds its way through for a kill. Summer electing to go with finesse over power in this instance, and it paid off. Another short serve, played by Collier. Set on up, attack right down the line. Hogan makes a nice play on it. Up for Corrigan. Nice hard swing. That one dug by Beard. Set on up for Johnson through the defense, right to Bostic. Hogan setting it up for Corrigan. Another good dig from Beard. Plenty of time to set it up from Rodriguez. Over the block, it's Rogers. Hogan shoveling it on in and picking up the kill. Harder serve from Rogers, goes to Rodriguez. There'll be a set from Beard. The attack from Rodriguez met by Hogan. Bostic sets it up for Bishop. Bishop over top of the block. Beard is there to play it. Set for Johnson again. This one will be dug by Rogers. Hogan with the set for Bishop. Tipped over the block and dug by Matheny. Over for Wolf now. Wolf runs into the net. And it'll be another point for the Pacers on the attack error. 9-1 your score here in the first set. Pacers on a dominant run to start off the set. Wolf will play it. Set up far side, and that goes right into the net. The Pacers will take another point. Serve goes to Wolf again. Beard will set it up. Attack from Johnson, and it is stuffed. Bishop and Summer teaming up to form the wall. They get the point. And Rogers back at the line again. Collier to Wolf. This one bumped right into the net. Matheny just trying to bump it over to keep the play alive. Can't even get it over the top lip. And the Pacers take another point on the error. Rogers floats it into Rodriguez. Beard sets, attack over the block. Rogers will get the dig. Hogan sets it up for Corrigan, and Corrigan is stuffed. Wolf was one of the blockers. I believe the other is going to be Matheny. And Middle Georgia finally puts an end to the Pacer run. Taylor Wilson to the line for the Knights. One of the two liberos for this Knight squad, and she's going to pick up a service ace. Went right at her counterpart. And Kira Bostic just couldn't handle it. Right back at Bostic. Another tough handle for her, and it's going to soar over the scoring table. Back-to-back service aces for Taylor Wilson. Wilson coming into this match with only 6 aces on the year. As Hogan sets this for Summer. Summer with the nice tip. Taylor Wilson over to get pushed over. Corrigan on the attack now. Just gets over the net, and Bailey Corrigan will pick up the kill. A couple of subs here for the Pacers. They're going to bring in Haley Liskowski for her first action of the evening, along with Avery Pearson. As Anna Summer heads to the lines, 13 serving 4. Into Rodriguez. The set from Beard, the attack through the block and down. A kill for Lawlier and a point for the Knights. Serve from Johnson. Rogers receives. Hogan sets. Bishop on the attack. Off the block and down. Another kill for Allie Bishop and a point for the Pacers. More changes being made. Kami Mitrovic will check in for the Pacers. And Chloe Duzenak returns to the floor as well. Mitrovic serves it up to Rodriguez. Set from Johnson, the attack from Wolf, off the block, it'll be dug up and played by Bostic. Duzenak just bumps this one over, free play here for the Knights. The set is gonna be mishandled on the attack. Knights trying to fake the attack, and it faked out their own team. Pacers take the point on the mental miscue. Mitrovic on serve again. Rodriguez receives. Johnson sets, attack into the block. Nice recovery, and back on over again. And that ball will end up downed. Not sure if the Knights got another hand on it or not. Either way, the point goes to Middle Georgia. It just depends on if it was a kill or a block. Baldwin with serve. And that goes right into the net. Pacers will take the free gift and go back on serve. Bailey Corrigan at line. Pacer lead is 10 as Rodriguez comes up to play the short serve. The attack goes into the back row. Corrigan plays it. Set on up here for Duzenak. Off the blockers, and that one's going to go over the head of Rogers. Rogers was crashing the net. Oh, a tough play there. Good block from the Knights. Serve from Lawlier. Corrigan plays it. Mitrovic sets it for Rogers, who fires one into the corner. An absolute missile from Lexi Rogers. And the Pacers take the point and regain a 10-point advantage. Bostic will serve. Her serve shanked a little bit, but kept in play by Baldwin. This one will get bumped over by Ferguson. Pacers work it around. Mitrovic setting for Duzenak, looking for the back row. It's dug by Baldwin. Bump set here for Ferguson into the defense. Kept alive, and he'll get sent on over. Mitrovic setting again. It's a tip from Anna Summer, and it's just going to die on the Knights' side. Another kill for Anna Summer. Could be a career day for number 8 in white. Worked around by the Knights to Rodriguez. That runs into the defense. Nice recovery, though, by Baldwin. Back to Rodriguez over top of the block. Diving effort from Rogers keeps the play alive. Knights working with the free play. Set far side Rodriguez into the block. And it's going to be down on the Knights side. Point for the Pacers. Believe they're going to credit that one as a block. Now, Pacers leading 19-7 now as they look to close out this second set with a huge advantage. Back over Chloe Duzenak, making them pay. Tough reception on the serve, and Chloe Duzenak made, or should I say, took full advantage of the error. The Pacers will make another change here. Leilani Brown will check into the match, taking over for Anna Summer. Coach Glenn Cox bringing in some of his reserve players, giving them some action. McCall Wolf receives the serve. Short set, runs into the block. Duzenak makes a nice play on it. Over to Rogers. Pushing it on through is Lexi Rogers for the kill. Bostic serve. Back to Wolf again. That's going to go off the antenna and out. A service ace for Kira Bostic, and another point for the Pacers. Wolf, better reception on this serve. Brought in by Rodriguez and pushed over by Ferguson, but it's going to get blown dead. Point goes to the Pacers on a ball handling error. Wolf receives the serve, got over. Nice play there by Brown. Attack from Rodriguez. Corrigan gets a nice hand on it. It's going to be tipped over the net. Knights will work it around. Back to Rodriguez over the block. Right there to play it is Corrigan. Rogers Tries to send it over with the swing, but ends up going into the net and down. Middle Georgia will take the point. So Aubrey Beard will serve for the ladies in black. Corrigan receives. Rogers comes over to play it, and Corrigan will push it on over. Looking in for the back corner. Worked around by the Knights over to Rodriguez, who bumps it over. Set up here for Brown. Leilani Brown's attack. Dug up, back over for Duzenak. Stuffed at the net, but kept alive by the Pacers. And Rogers sends it on over. Knights will set up the middle. The attack from Matheny is going to find its way through for the kill. Beard sends the serve on its way again. Corrigan receives. Mitrovic sets it on up for Duzenak. That one's blocked. Did it land in? No, it did not. It's a kill for Chloe Duzenak and a point for the Pacers. Hogan back onto the floor to serve. Allie Bishop returns as well. Set point Pacers at 24-9. Hogan's serve. Into Collier, the attack on the far end of the court, blocked and kept alive. Set up from Beard, attack from Johnson, and that'll soar out through the back end. Point and set to the Pacers, 25-9, as the Pacers dominating the second set to take a 2-0 lead as we move on into the third set. And welcome back, folks. About to get ready for the third set, but before we go into that, let's take a look at some of the numbers. Anna Summer having herself a night. 10 kills on 15 swings, no errors. 667 hitting percentage for her. Rogers picking up 4 kills on 12 swings. Allie Bishop 6 kills on 12 as well. And Chloe Duzenak rounds out the leaders for the Pacers with 4 kills on 10 swings. Defensively for the Pacers, it's Lexi Rogers leading the way with 11 digs, followed by Sydney Hogan with 7. And into the blocks category, Anna Summer leading the way. 2 solo blocks and 3 block assists. Total of 3.5 blocks for her on the evening. For Middle Georgia, the offensive leader is going to be Grayson Lawlier. She has 5 kills on 6 swings for an excellent .833 hitting percentage. Mia Matheny with 4 kills on 12 swings. And then it will be Caitlin Wolf with 3 kills on 7 swings. Defensively for the Knights, Paige Collier leading the way with 8 digs, followed by Aubrey Beard with 5. And on the block side of things, a solo block for Matheny, a solo block for Wolf, a pair of block assists for Lawlier, and a single block assist for Ellison Johnson. Well, as a team, the Pacers did an outstanding job, both on offense and defense, holding the Knights to a negative .083 hitting percentage while swinging for .357 themselves, as they look to close out this match in straight sets, leading 2-0. Pacers squeaked away with a win into set number 1, 25-23, and then just went on a tear, winning set 2, 25-9. It'll be Aubrey Beard to serve for the Knights to get us underway here in set 3. The serve is to Duzenak. Hogan will set it on up. Allie Bishop gives it a swing, dug in the back row by Wolf. Set up for Johnson. She swings. Duzenak right there to get the dig. Hogan with a high set for Bishop, and Bishop's attack goes into the net. Point goes to the Knights to start us off here in the set. Hard serve will be played by Bostic. They'll set it up for Rogers, who goes for the tip. Did she hit the line? No, she did not. The officials say it was out. A point goes again to the Knights. Serve to Rogers. Hogan with the set. Attack from Anna Summer. Dug on out, sent back to the Pacers' end. Rogers will get it going again. Set for Bishop this time. That runs into the block, and it is down. Ellie Johnson and Mia Matheny picking up the block credit. And a 3-0 run for the Knights, the exact opposite of set number 2. Serve into Rogers, and that one is out. A service ace for Beard, and another point for the Knights. Duzenak receives the serve. Hogan shovels it on over, and Sydney Hogan picks up the campfire kill to put an end to the Middle Georgia run. Lexi Rogers with service. Set on up and sent on over from Ferguson. Pacers get it and get it back over to the Knights side. Beard will set for Wolf. Wolf's attack through the defense. Hogan meets it. Bostic will set it up for Bishop. Bishop runs into the defense, pinballs around a little bit, and Summer will just send it over. Beard setting up the attack from Johnson. Rogers getting the dig there. Hogan sets for Duzenak, looking for the back row, but it's going to go out. And the Pacers will get the point. The line judge says it went off a fingertip. So instead of an attack error, it's going to be a kill for Rogers. And Rogers sends her serve in. Played by Ferguson. Short set, attack, and kill. Matheny burying it in the back row for the point. Serve to Bostic. Well, he had a set from Hogan. Anna Summers attacked through the block, dug up and sent right back over. Hogan sets for Summer again. Looking back row, be dug by Ferguson. Plenty of time to set up from Beard, and Johnson bumps it over. Rogers for Hogan to Bishop. Off the block and dug by Beard. Set up from Collier. Back on over to the Pacer, and Rogers gets the dig. Over to Bishop. Off the block, back to the Pacer side. Hogan setting it up. Duzenak gives it a swing. Blocked again. Pinballed and pushed over by Chloe Duzenak. Set for Johnson. Gets on through. Sent back over. Dug up by Beard. Wolf swing. Bostic with the setup. Attack from Rogers. Ferguson gets a hand on it. Over to Johnson. Johnson is blocked. Beard keeps it alive. Johnson gives it another swing and down into the net to put an end to the point. I'll be honest, that point nearly killed my vocal cords trying to keep that one going. But play continues. Pacers down by 2 now. Make it 1 as it is blocked at the net. Avery Pearson and Allie Bishop will get credit for the block as it's now 5-4 Middle Georgia. Huckel with the serve. It's set up for Wolf. Duzenak gets a hand under it. It gets set back for Duzenak, and her hard swing goes right into the net. And that'll be a point for Middle Georgia. Taylor Wilson on serve. Duzenak receives. Set up for Pearson, looking for the back line. It's going to go out, though, and the point goes to the Knights. Wilson serve. Rogers receives. Hogan sets for Duzenak. Into the block. Picked up by the Pacers, though. Hogan sets for Bishop. Bishop's attack. Dug nicely by Ferguson. It'll get set up here for Johnson, and Johnson finds a way through the block for a kill. Knights now with a 4-point cushion here in the third set. Wilson with another serve to Duzenak. Hogan will set it on up. Attack is on the line and down. Chloe Duzenak will get the kill. Pacers making some changes here. Tucker Patterson back onto the floor. Or should I say onto the floor for the first time tonight, as Addison Fox serves it up and serves it into the net for the service error. Knights take over once again on serve. Ellie Johnson with serve. Goes to Rogers. Fox comes over to play it. Attack from Lexi Rogers, dug up nicely by Collier. Set for Wolf. Wolf's attack hits the line, and it'll be a point for the Knights. Johnson's serve goes to Bostic. It'll be Fox setting for Pearson, off the blockers and down. Avery Pearson with the kill. Pacers get the point. Duzenak will head to the line for USCA. Duzenak's serve, played by Ferguson. Be set for Wolf. Wolf runs into the block. Nice recovery by Ferguson. Johnson sets it up. Ferguson sends it over. Fox the first to touch it. Bostic with the setup for Rogers. Into the defense. Duzenak is there to play it. Fox will set for Pearson. Looking for the back line, and she finds it for the kill. Duzenak's serve goes to Collier. The setup for Wolf into the back row, be dug by Duzenak. Set now for Rogers. Tipped over the blockers and down. A little bit of miscommunication on the Knights side. Turns into a Lexi Rogers kill. Duzenak with serve again. Played by Collier. Set from Johnson to Wolf. Off the blockers, dug in the back row. Fox shoveling it on over. Diving dig there from Johnson. Gets it over to Wolf, and Wolf powering through the block for a kill. Rodriguez serves to Bostic. Fox will set it up for Patterson. Patterson's attack dug on the back row by Rodriguez. Ferguson sends it on in. Bostic gets the dig there. Fox with the setup. Attack looking to go across the court, and it'll just miss wide of the line. That'll be a point for the Knights. Their lead is back out to 4. 12-8 the score halfway through the third set. A floater into Bostic. Set on up for Pearson, through the block, and not a whole lot that Collier could do, but put her hands out and hope. Another kill for Pearson, and another point for USCA. Bostic's serve, Ferguson plays it. Johnson sets back for Ferguson, off of the block. Johnson gets to it. Collier got a hand under it, but it goes over the antenna and out. Point goes to the Pacers. Johnson will set this one up. Attack goes off a blocker and down. Lawlier picking up the point, going right at the defense for the kill. Lawlier sending her serve on its way. Rogers receives. Fox will set it on up. Anna Summer gives it a swing, and once again, Anna Summer coming away with a kill. Hogan on serve, just gets it over. Rodriguez makes a nice play on it. Sent over to the Pacers side where Hogan gets the dig. Up for Bishop on the attack. And Bishop will pick up the kill as the diving effort from Collier wasn't enough. The Knight lead is down to 1. Hogan serve to Rodriguez. The set from Johnson, the attack goes right into the net. Matheny couldn't get it through the defense. And we are tied at 13. And a timeout taken from the Knights bench. 13 all your score halfway through the third set. We'll be back in just a little bit. Pacers up 2-0. Timeout comes to a close. We'll get back to the action. 13 serving 13. Pacers with the serve as Sydney Hogan continues at the line. The serve into the back row, Collier. The setup for Matheny is off the block and down. And the Pacers are looking for a touch. One line judge indicated that it did go off a tip. Pacers are going to argue their case here. And the play appears to stand as called. Knights take the first point out of the timeout. Aubrey Beard serving. Into Duzenak. Hogan with the setup. Attack. Runs into the defense. Worked around by the Pacers. Over to Rogers. Blocked again. Sent back over. Bishop will get a play on it. Hogan will set. Rogers on another attack. Through the block and down. Lexi Rogers powering through the defense to pick up the point. And now she will head to the line to serve. The serve is in to Collier. High setup here for Ferguson. Rogers gets the dig there. Set for Anna Summer. Anna Summer went right at Paige Collier and picks up the point. Rogers tries to go with the short serve. It's too short as it goes into the net. Middle Georgia will take over again at the line. Duzenak on reception. Hogan sets for Duzenak into the block, kept up, and they're going to blow it dead, I believe. They're going to call a lift. Pacers take the point, and they'll be back out in front, 16-15. Ella Huckel coming off the bench to serve. Huckel with a hard serve into Ferguson. Beard sets it. Attack from Johnson. Hogan gets to it. Huckel setting it. Attack and kill. Chloe Duzenak firing it into the back row for a kill. Huckel, serve comes into Ferguson again. Beard sets it up for Wolf. Wolf's attack is long, but they're gonna say it went off a tip. And it'll be a kill for Wolf and a point for Middle Georgia. Taylor Wilson back off the bench to serve. That'll go into the net. The service error gift wraps the point to the Pacers. They'll be back out in front by 2 and bring Madison Fox back in to serve. And the serve is just going to be wide of the line. A service error from the Pacers re-gifts the point to the Knights. Serve goes to Bostic. Fox will set it up for Duzenak, and Chloe Duzenak skims it off the top of the net and into the back row for the point. Duzenak sending it on its way. Ferguson receives. Johnson sets. Attack from Lawlear. Worked around by the Pacers and sent over by Rogers. That's going to land down just in front of the diving Collier. Just trying to keep the play alive. And Lexi Rogers comes away with the kill. 20-17 now the score. Pacers up by 3. Duzenak's serve is going to be out. Point goes to Middle Georgia. And Ellis Rodriguez back out to serve. Her serve on its way. Rogers receives. The setup for Pearson, and Avery Pearson powers into the block for a kill. Bostic to the line for USCA. Sends it on its way to her counterpart Collier. The set for Ferguson. Through the block. Bostic gets a dig on it. Fox sends it on over. Sent right back to the Pacers' end. Fox will set this time for Duzenak, and Duzenak's attack is going to come up short. Point goes to the Knights. And Grayson Lawlier at the line to serve. Serve just gets over to Rogers. Fox sets for Patterson. Patterson, a hard swing, and it's going to be a kill for Tucker Patterson. Hogan and Bishop back onto the floor. Hogan to the line. Serve gets on into Rodriguez. Johnson will set it up for Bridget Elkins. Diving dig by Bostic. Hogan sets it on up. Rogers tries to send it over, and it's just going to ride along the net and not make its way over. So Aubrey Beard to serve for Middle Georgia State, and it goes into Duzenak. The set on up, the attack is down. It's another kill for Anna Summer. 23-20 the score. Rogers serve into Rodriguez. The setup for Ferguson, and that one's blocked, but it goes off of the leg. It was going to go out, but the block ended up hitting Ferguson's leg. So the point belongs to the Pacers on the block. Match point USCA 24-20. Rodriguez receives. The set, attack from Johnson, blocked at the net and down. It's Anna Summer once again. And the Pacers take the match. 25-20 the final score of the third set as the Pacers pick up the sweep of Middle Georgia. The Pacers improve to even 500 overall at 12-12 and now 4-6 in conference play. The Knights still searching for their first conference victory as they drop to 5-16 overall. These teams will be back in action tomorrow at 1 o'clock p.m. for the second match of the weekend series. But thank you so much for joining us on your Halloween evening. I've been Marcus Johnson, and we will see you tomorrow at 1 for the next one.